Season 13, Episode 3, Back to School, returns to Hope Valley with more than just lessons and laughter. Tension, mystery, and heartfelt moments fill this episode as the town searches for answers. Let's dive into the recap. A new school year is underway in Hope Valley. Elizabeth, played by Erin Krakow, is hard at work preparing the classroom, making sure everything is ready to welcome the incoming students from Benson Hills. Nathan stops by with a bouquet of flowers and lends a helping hand. As they step back to admire their work, Elizabeth notices that her welcome back banner isn't hanging quite straight. Nathan agrees. Something about it feels slightly off, even if they can't immediately fix it. When classes begin, the schoolhouse is fuller than ever. In addition to the familiar faces from Hope Valley, students from Benson Hills are now sharing the classroom while a more permanent solution is figured out. The atmosphere is noticeably tense. The Benson Hills children look unhappy to be there, and the Hope Valley students aren't exactly welcoming either. The room feels heavy with discomfort, and it's clear that both groups are struggling to adjust. The investigation into the fire is now underway. Flyers are posted throughout town asking anyone with information to come forward. Molly tells Lee that she saw a man heading into the woods, possibly carrying a container of kerosene. Lee immediately urges her to report it and personally brings her to the Mounties' office. Her description closely matches McGinty, which makes Lee eager to confront him right away. However, Nathan and Bill urge caution, explaining that they don't yet have enough proof to make an arrest. Nathan has already begun mapping the burn pattern and is waiting on further analysis from Capital City, hoping it will help identify the true cause and the person responsible in the coming days. Lucas finds himself in conflict with local vendors who are taking advantage of families affected by the fire by raising prices unfairly. Edie steps in, offering him legal language he can use to push back and keep them in line. She also invites Lucas to a community meeting she's organizing to guide families through the insurance process. Lucas promises to attend, but his plans change when Edwin insists he meet for dinner with Benjamin Camberwell, the influential head of the railroad. Camberwell's financial support and political endorsement are important to Lucas's campaign, so he reluctantly agrees, knowing it will take time away from the meeting. The dinner drags on, with Camberwell largely wasting Lucas's time, even interrupting their discussion to call his broker about purchasing a racing pony. By the time Lucas finally leaves to head to the community gathering, he arrives too late to be of any real help. It's field day at the school, and Elizabeth takes the students outside for a break filled with games and activity. The yard turns into a lively scene, almost like a friendly competition, as everyone gets ready to participate. Hoping to lift spirits after the fire and encourage unity, Elizabeth pairs the children together, one from Hope Valley and one from Benson Hills, and sets them loose on an obstacle course designed to help them work as a team and connect with one another. Lee's situation quickly takes a turn for the worse. When McGinty enters the saloon, Lee immediately contacts Molly at the switchboard and asks her to come identify whether he's the man she saw in the woods. He also alerts the Mounties. Before anyone can properly investigate, McGinty prepares to leave, and Lee confronts him. The exchange becomes heated, and Lee, in a moment of anger, pushes him, causing McGinty to stumble. McGinty immediately exaggerates the moment, deliberately dropping to the floor and claiming he was assaulted and demands that Lee be arrested. Nathan arrives just as the dispute is ending and, with little choice, has to take Lee into custody. Gwendolyn is struggling and refuses to return to school while her father is still away, especially if it means wearing the dress Rosemary picked out for her. Rosemary gently explains that her dad will be in the hospital for some time, and missing school for that long isn't a good idea. Lee steps in and makes a compromise. If Gwen agrees to go to school, she won't have to wear the dress. That's enough to change her mind. Later, Lee reminds Rosemary that she doesn't have to fix everything all at once. Some things just take time. At school, Elizabeth catches Gwendolyn scratching into her desk using one of Rosemary's treasured heirloom silver utensils. Elizabeth later informs Rosemary about the incident, and Rosemary feels completely discouraged, ready to admit defeat. However, Elizabeth gently reminds her that Gwendolyn doesn't need perfection right now. She needs patience. and the steady support of both Rosemary and Lee. After Lee is released from jail, since McGinty ultimately chooses not to press charges, his spirits are clearly low. Even Rosemary's freshly baked brownies, his favorite, fail to lift his mood. Wanting some space, he heads outside to work on his woodworking project, his own quiet retreat from the world. Not long after, Gwendolyn returns home, still acting out as usual. Rosemary sees an opportunity and asks Gwen to take a brownie to Lee. What begins as a simple task turns into a meaningful moment as the two connect over his woodworking. Once again, Lee proves to be the steady, calming presence Gwen needs, just as he has always been for Rosemary. Mike and May step in to support Maisie during a difficult time. Determined to look after her community, Mayor Hickam initially refuses any assistance. However, her younger brother Mike urges her to stay with him and May, knowing she shouldn't face everything alone. Maisie dismisses the idea at first, but when May later visits and speaks with her personally, she finally begins to reconsider. Oliver tries hard to make a good impression on Allie. She tells him about Rupert, a student from Benson Hills who is fascinated by ancient Rome and especially Julius Caesar. Oliver is surprised to learn that Caesar was a real historical figure, and even more so that he appears in a Shakespeare play. Feeling out of his depth, Oliver awkwardly excuses himself from the conversation. Later, Elizabeth finds him in the town library, attempting to read Julius Caesar. Seeing his effort, she suggests they meet once a week to talk about poetry and literature, and she introduces him to Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. When Oliver later quotes Whitman to Allie, she's clearly impressed, surprised by his sudden interest in poetry, and touched by the effort he's made to understand her world a little better. Toby and Cooper finally decide to be honest with Elizabeth, explaining the reason behind their recent odd behavior. On the day of the fire, they had stopped along the way to warm up some stew Cooper was carrying. To do so, they lit a small fire, and although they believe they had put it out, they now fear it may not have been completely extinguished. The possibility weighs heavily on them. Could they have accidentally caused the blaze? What did you think of this episode? And who do you believe is truly responsible for the fire? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates, recaps, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite series.